Hi, Wes Scott from Kane and Scott. Today we're going to talk about determining which chapter of bankruptcy you should file. Consumer bankruptcies, there's essentially two. Chapter 7 bankruptcy, Chapter 13 bankruptcy. At Kane and Scott, that's all we do is Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. We don't do any Chapter 12 work, 11 work. Um, but in consumer bankruptcy work, whether you're going to do a Chapter 7 or a 13 is determined primarily based on your income and expenses. If you have the ability to repay some of your debt, you have to do it. And I think most people know whether they do or not. And I think the exercise is take your net monthly income and then subtract your reasonable and necessary expenses. So, your mortgages, food, clothing, gas, insurances, car payments, all that stuff. And if the number that's left over is positive, then you're probably going to be doing a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, where you make payments back to your creditors based upon what you can afford to pay. Not what creditors want you to pay, based upon what you can afford to pay. You eat first, they eat second. And if you don't have the ability to repay any of your debt, then you're likely going to be on a Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is for those people who don't have the ability to make payments back to their creditors. Chapter 13 is for those people who do have the ability to repay some of their debt, but it's often at a pretty steep discount. You might have $100,000 in credit card debt in a Chapter 13, but only 10 grand gets paid, and then the rest of it gets wiped out tax-free. When the time's right. When you are ready, reach out to Kane and Scott. You'll be so thankful you did.